Hi everyone, BC Lesniak here with your brief 10-minute or less training on the new iPads. We're going to cover basic operations of the iPads, the new docking station, and FieldBridge, the new software that you will be able to use with these iPads. Okay, quick introduction for those that may not be iPad friendly. First thing is, how do you turn it off and on if you really need to do a hard reset on it? And to do that, you're simply going to flip it over and you're going to press the volume up button and the wake or sleep button up on the top. You're going to hold that down, look at the screen, and it's going to give you an option to turn it on or off. It is much larger than our current iPads on the ambulances, so you'll have more room to work here. It's got a 10-hour battery, hopefully to make it through most of your shift. And another thing for those that may not be up to speed on the newest iPads, iPhones, there is no more home button. So in order to access that, you're going to flip it over, and from the very bottom of it, near the logo for the mount, which is Havis, you're going to swipe up, which will take the place of the home button. Some other features, there's an Apple Pen. You'll notice that there's a cutout on the back to help you pop that out so you don't have to use a pocket knife to wedge that pen out. And there's also a carrying/hand strap on the back here so you can slide your hand in and hold on to the iPad and chart with your free hand. The docking station. These are installed in all of our ambulances. You've probably seen them. This is the only way that you're going to be able to charge the iPad, and it's also meant to keep the iPad secure. Just as we have secure mounts for everything else in the back of the ambulance, it's important to keep this secure whenever possible to limit it from being any kind of a projectile in the worst case scenario of an ambulance accident. And it will obviously also serve as a mount, so you can mount it in there and pivot it. So if you're sitting in the captain's chair, you can use this to hold the iPad and chart if you have a non-complicated patient. In order to put the iPad in the mount, you'll see in this picture up on top, you're going to tilt it slightly towards you. You'll know you have it in the right orientation. You'll see some hooks on the back of it, or the pen will be on the bottom, but you'll tilt it forward at about a 20 to 30 degree angle, and then set it down in there and then tilt it back. You'll hear it click into place. In order to remove it, you're going to put your hand in behind the iPad, pull up on this giant button straight up into the air, and then you'll hear a loud click and the iPad will then come off. We will not be locking the iPads at this time. All right, FieldBridge. So let's talk about it. It is exactly as you know ImageTrend now, with a few extra options. The biggest thing here is this will allow you to use ImageTrend without having a Wi-Fi connection. The kicker is you have to start it by clicking on the blue button while you do have a Wi-Fi connection, and we'll show you more of that here in a little bit. You're not going to have any more of those lost reports. We've all gotten bit by this, or maybe you forgot to put the crew member in, or even if you did everything right, it still lost your report, and you have to figure out what you're going to do about that. So this will no longer happen because it is storing a copy of the report on the iPad itself temporarily when you use FieldBridge. Currently, the way we do it is with regular EMS Bridge, and that does not store copies, and that's why you lose things. And my favorite thing, right? No more having to go get the hotspot for refusals. As long as you remember to bring the iPad in, you can do a refusal right there. Nobody has to go back out to the vehicle. This is ready to go for you. Two ways to get to it. First, and obviously the most prevalent way, is going to be on the iPad itself. All the iPads should have an icon on the bottom. You can see here, it'll look like this blue icon right in the middle here. You're going to click on that. Or if for some reason you need to go to it on a desktop, you can log into ImageTrend as you normally do, and then you'll click on Incidents at the top, and then Elite Field Login right here. Okay, so once you click on it, what's going to happen? You're going to eventually get to the screen. Every time you click on it, you'll see a taskbar that's downloading updates and downloading new users and incidents and all these things. And that's why, again, you must be connected to a Wi-Fi access point or guest internet at the hospital, whatever it's going to be. But you have to be on the internet before you click the blue button. After that, as long as you're on this screen, you are good to go. You don't need the internet anymore. Some things that you'll want to do at the start of your shift is you'll want to get things set up to make the call run faster and smoother for you. You can see here there is spots for you to add crew members, your unit, shift color, and select your preferred monitor. You can see here on the screen, I've already done that. Myself and firefighter paramedic Brunetti are on ambulance 51 today. It's black shift, and we've pre-selected our monitor to download our vital signs easier. To start a new report, all you're going to do is click the big plus sign next to New Incident. Here's what it's going to look like. Again, it is 99% identical to what you already know. Okay, here are the differences. First, since you do not have internet access, right, or you may not when you are doing this, it's meant to be used offline, you will have to download your your CAD numbers, including your incident number and your times, in addition to your vital signs. To do that, you're just going to click the CAD button up on top. You'll select your unit and date, just as you are familiar with doing now, to update it, and it will auto-populate all of the same things that you are used to. Secondly, when you are ready to either be totally done with your report, or you've reached the point where you are done using the iPad and you want to either finish your report or print a hard copy of your report back at the station, you need to click the orange post button. If you do not click the orange post button, this will not be submitted into our cloud-based software, so that way it is accessible for billing, QI, and all of the other things. So you must hit the orange button when you are ready to transition off of the iPad, either at completion or when you're ready to finish the report on a normal computer. All right, it's going to happen, right? You forgot to post, and now you log on at the station and you can't find it. No big deal, okay? What you'll want to do is click on that blue button again back on the desktop of the iPad. And again, it'll get you to this screen. Here you see myself and Firefighter Brunetti. You will see all of the calls listed here that are still stored on the iPad. All you'll do is either go into the call and hit the orange button, or you can click the little arrow on the right, and it'll give you an option to post and or upload the call. Then you'll see it disappear off of here, and that tells you that it is now in the cloud, ready to go. Why in the heck is there an Apple Pen? Those are expensive. You're right, they are. But in our efforts to make your life easier, we are now providing those to allow you to take notes or use it to help chart. Okay, the way you want to do it to take notes is you'll see that next to the power tools here on the right-hand side of your screen, there is something called JotPad. And when you click on that, it opens up a little notepad. You can use your Apple Pen to jot yourself quick notes, whatever you want to put there. Just remember that this is part of the medical record, so don't put anything there that you would not want the QI team, your EMS coordinator, or your medical director to eventually look at. Keep that in mind. But you can take quick, simple notes here because, let's face it, in the heat of the moment, it may not always be super convenient to click around the buttons to find your necessary fields. So write down your pertinent information here, and then you can refer to it as you finish your report. All right, 10 minutes or less, as I promised. Please contact me directly if you have any questions via email. Otherwise, please enjoy these new iPads. Take care.